Come back at 6, wake me and your child, and then won't lay today. Make me wonder who you might have been playing with. Makes me wonder who you think.
Good morning, cyber friends. Happy Friday. I am so happy to have you here another day. Yay! Today is day 13, and it's a little bit of a different day for me. A nice, free, carefree day. I took off work today. I am going to a concert later with my bestie. We're going to see Toni Braxton in New Edition. I love old school artists, especially stuff I grew up on, parents listening to, older family members listening to. I'm really excited. Toni was one of my mama's favorite artists, and my mom left me some clothes before she passed away. So I've come up with an outfit to kind of go with one of the items that she left me. I'm never going to wear this shirt anywhere, probably ever again. The shirt isn't a cute shirt to me. It gives very much auntie, but I'm okay with it. I just feel like it's very fitting that I take my mom with me somewhere like this. So I did wake up at a decent time, but I was not in a rush to leave the house. I am up. I started some laundry. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. These mics is supposed to be noise canceling, but sometimes I definitely be hearing the noise. But the washing machine is so loud in my ear right now. If it's loud in your ear, I do apologize. So I got the washing machine going. I just finished doing dishes, just made my breakfast, and I didn't do anything crazy. Again, I did oatmeal. I use coffee creamer to sweeten the oatmeal. I don't put any sugar or butter in it. And then I put about a tablespoon of peanut butter in there. Again, I'm really trying to get into foods that I'm not really into or don't really care for, especially under the guise of it's good for me. And peanut butter has plenty of protein in there, allegedly. And I want it to go straight to my behind, okay? So after I get done eating, I am going to go to the gym, and I need to go to the grocery store, run a couple errands. But for the most part, I'll be back here, back at the house, back chilling until it's time for me to go out tomorrow. I got to do one of my hobbies yesterday, and I was really excited about that. I was crocheting one of the hats that I was telling y'all about, and I think it's going pretty well. I'm almost done with the hat, so I am going to attempt to work on that in my free time if all goes well. But my main concern is having everything done so I can have a little leisure time before going to the concert, and making sure that I'm getting dressed and ready on time. I'm not going to drive into the city. I'm just gonna take a car, so I ain't trying to get stuck trying to find somewhere to park and all of the things. So that's how the morning's going to go, and I will be back. We will do our question. You'll see the gym workout. I may or may not put the massage in here today. I haven't done the massage for y'all in a while, but I have been doing it, so we'll see. All right. But I just wanted to wish you a good morning, do the intro, and let's keep it going. Baby, when I say I was working hard at the gym, for it to be 5 something in the morning, that's wild. That's crazy. Who's really up putting in that type of work at the crack of dawn? Sun wasn't even out, still pitch black, and I was sweating up a storm. I kid you not. I burned over 1,000 calories. I had closed all 3 of my rings before 8 o'clock hit. That's a world record. I don't know, but I'm proud of myself. But I woke up that morning ready to work, and you see that I'm going to do the work. The work is not the problem. I think more for me, it's the eating above anything, and I am still working on that, getting that under wraps. And it's not even that I just eat so many bad things. It's my eating habits in general. I go from one extreme to the next. 1 minute, I'm hungry, and I eat everything in sight. The next minute, I'll starve myself to death. So that's not good. Whether I'm eating healthy and clean versus eating sugar and fast food and all this stuff, there has to be balance regardless, things in moderation regardless. So I can't be skipping meals and doing all the things. So again, that's something we are intentionally working on. We are intentionally working on our wellness. We are finding what the problem areas are in our life, mentally, physically, emotionally, and we are putting a plan of action behind them, and we're going forth and being great. Again, you already know what my plan is as far as the gym. There's something I do for core. There's something that I do for glutes, legs. There's something that I do for my back, arms. I am doing full body. I used to do splits, but I wanted to try something for this 30 days and see how I like it. See if I saw some changes in my body after the 30 days, to see if I want to continue to keep doing it this way or not. But again, some stuff you're going to see me add in and some stuff you're going to see me take out and swap out. But this right here is staying. I took this from Miss Izzy, like I said, when we was doing her little Pilates challenge. This is staying. When I say my behind be on fire, and a good fire too, right on time, because I told you I want a fat by tomorrow. I need y'all to keep hearing me say it. We're manifesting. I need you to keep hearing me say it because I want y'all to be able to see it one day. And you see that sweat on my back? I'm telling you, it was 6 a.m. and I'm working hard. Like, look at this. Water all down the back. Who ain't putting in work? Who's not doing what they need to do in the gym? You can't say it's not me, baby. You can't say it's not me. I'm doing it. So I'm excited for the next week. It's going to be week 3 of working out, and I'm going to go up on weights. So I'm excited about that. Oh, I'm going to be in so much pain, but hopefully when I am doing that massage plate, it's doing me well and treating me well. But I did my work, baby. You can't say I didn't do that. All right. All right, friends, let's get into this journal prompt before it is time for me to go and start my night. We are back to the Michelle Obama book, and we are starting a different section. She says, have you ever felt like you don't matter? That you exist in a world that doesn't see you, or that you exist in a world that sees only one thing about you? Nearly everyone on earth experiences this sort of feeling at some point. That prickling awareness that you're somehow not suited to your environment, that you're being viewed as a trespasser. But for those of us who are perceived as different, whether due to our race, ethnicity, body size, gender, queerness, disability, neurodivergence, or in any number of other ways, in any number of combinations, these feelings don't just come and go. They can be acute and unrelenting. Living with them takes a lot of work. Trying to understand what causes them and what to do about them can be daunting, to say the least. It can be easy to presume that your differentness is the most visible part of you, the thing people perceive first and remember the longest. Sometimes this is absolutely true, and other times it's not. The difficult part is that you will rarely know. You have little choice except to keep going, regardless. But the problem is, once you allow the judgment of others inside, it gets distracting. This is a hallmark of self-consciousness, a shift from thinking about yourself to imagining how people are thinking about you. And it can also become a form of self-sabotage, because now suddenly you too are perceiving your differentness first. Instead of focusing on trying to solve the math problem on the board, you are worried about how you look. You raise your hand to ask a question at a lecture, but you simultaneously are wondering how your voice sounds in a room full of people who are not like you. You are headed into a meeting with your boss, but you are second guessing the impression you'll make, fretting about the length of your skirt and whether you should have worn lipstick. You start carrying the load of your label, whatever that label may be. Your differentness attaches to you like a flag. All this creates an extra burden, extra distraction. It adds another layer of required thinking to situations that for some might be casual, but for you now take energy. It can feel almost as if the world has quietly divided into two right in front of your eyes, those who have to think more and those who can think less. Less visible types of differentness can also create an equal or greater mental burden. Maybe there's something about your experience, your lifestyle, or your personality that you feel compelled to hide, or at least refrain from adding to the pile on of potential things that others use to form their opinions of you. But the work it sometimes takes to detour around in conversation can condition you to feel guarded and cautious, as if you're wearing an extra layer of armor. Maybe you have a parent or family member who was or is incarcerated. Maybe you grew up with a learning disability or a speech impediment that you worked hard to overcome. Or maybe at home and among your friends and in your community, you simply don't talk the same way people in the workplace do. Amid all that effort and all that precariousness, you could be forgiven for not wanting to risk more by sharing a lot of your personal story. You could be forgiven for your inwardness, your caution, your layers of armor. All you're trying to do, really, is to focus, hold your balance, and not fall. The challenge is to shift our perspective and celebrate the value of differentness in ourselves and in others. Seeing it as a reason to step forward rather than back, to stand up rather than sit down, to say more rather than less. The work is challenging. It often requires boldness, and there are never any guarantees on how it will be received. But every time someone pulls it off, every time another tightrope gets crossed, we see even more perspectives begin to shift. It matters when we feel safe enough to show ourselves without shame and find ways to speak openly of the experiences that made us into the people we are. Our differences are treasures, and they're also tools. They are useful, valid, worthy, and important to share. Recognize this, not only in ourselves, but in the people around us. We begin to rewrite more and more stories of not mattering. We start to change the paradigms around who belongs, creating more space for more people. Step by step, we can lessen the loneliness of not belonging. In this section, I want to give you tools for taking what you may perceive as your differences or your weaknesses and transforming them into the source code of your strength. All around me, I see smart and creative folks who are gradually working their way into greater power and visibility. In many stances, having figured out how to harness rather than hide whatever sets them apart. When we do this, we start to acknowledge all the contradictions and influences that make us unique. We normalize differentness. We reveal more of the larger human mosaic. We help make everyone's story a little more okay. But all that starts with becoming okay with your own story within yourself first, so that you can stand in a place of confidence and stability. And from there, you share your light with others. Here is the two items that we're going to do today because the first one is kind of short, so we'll add the second one on. The first one, as a kid and as an adult, sometimes still, I stood out in rooms I walked in for being tall. Once I went to college and joined the professional world and then the political life, I stood out in many places because I am a woman and because I am Black. And often, even more so, because I am both of those things at the same time. In what ways do you feel you stand out or are different from your peers in the space and circles you inhabit? So she has 4 slots where it says I stand out in or slash at because. And what I am going to pick, I'm going to be a little bit all over. So I feel like I have stood out in my life because of my size. That is one. I feel like I have stood out because of who my family is, who I'm related to. I would say I stood out in my younger years because of how shy I was, how much of a loner I was. I didn't mind sitting in a corner and playing by myself or eating by myself. And as kids, as children, see that they really aren't kind about that. And I'll have to come back around and think about the last one. So that is the first part of that. For the second part, Pick one of the differences you identified on the previous page and reflect on how it makes you feel. What goes through your mind when you enter scenarios that make you conscious of this difference? When did you first become aware of it? So, the one I am going to pick is me standing out because of my family. What goes through my mind, the scenarios. When did I first become aware of it? I've always been aware of it all of my life. I will not say that I grew up in a small town, but it's not necessarily big either. A lot of people, a lot of families, a lot of children, a lot of whatever run in the same circles, especially in the Black community of where I am from. And so there was a church that I went to. It was my family's church. My great grandma started at that church. Then she had her children in the church, which is my grandma and my grandma's sister. Then they had their children and they grew up in that church too. And then their children, my aunts, my mom, had their children. So it's several lineages of family members that went to said church. And there are other people that are in the church who have that same dynamic. I went to the same high school as my mom, the same middle school as my mom. My cousins did as well. So a lot of people know you, know who you are. And honestly, I did not care for it. I always had to be under somebody's shadow. I always was so and so's niece, so and so's granddaughter, so and so's cousin. I was never just myself. Me and my cousin, he's a year older than me. He played basketball. When people found out that he was my cousin, boys would immediately stop trying to talk to me. Like they were afraid of this man or something. They'd be out of respect for him. We can't do this. Literally, there was a boy in high school that went up to my cousin and asked my cousin for permission to take me on a date. Like, we can't be serious. Be so for real. My mom played basketball, and then she became a basketball coach. So I was always Coach so-and-so's daughter. And so I'm walking into a room and she's put me in basketball, and I had to play basketball for 10 plus years. And so automatically they want me to be great. They assume that I'm great. They assume that I have the same drive and the same love for the game when I couldn't care nothing about basketball. I was forced to play. My mama tried to live her basketball dreams through me. I was forced to play. I did not like basketball. I was so happy when she finally let me switch to a sport she knew nothing about, so she could not yell at me and make me practice 10 times harder how she did basketball. I loved tennis for that alone. Again, I've always been aware of this. I didn't quite care for it again because I'm already walking into a room, and as soon as you know who I'm related to or whatever the case may be, you already have this perception about me, when in reality there's not. I can't think of one person in my family that I really act like. Not to say they haven't had any influence on me. Like, anybody knows I love Cheetah. My aunt from a young age was the aunt who had the animal print decor. So I would see the cheetah and the zebra and the this and the that in her house, and Cheetah just had always stuck with me. So little influences like that. But as far as personality wise, there's no one in my family that I truly really act like. So I hate that people couldn't just meet me and just get to know me from that point and decide who I am or what I am or how I act like or whatever the case may be. But again, it's been happening for a while. As an adult, I don't live in my hometown anymore, so I've been able to escape that for a little bit. At one point, me and my cousin did go to the same college, and again, people found out we were related, and people did not want to attempt to date me and things of that nature. I'm just like, we can't be serious. It should not be this deep. But it is what it is. That's just been something that's been on me since I was a little girl. There's really nothing that I could do about it, especially in the environments that I was in. I was always going to be so and so's something. So Again, I'm an adult now. I don't live in my hometown anymore, and I've been able to create a new life for myself, a new name for myself, and all of the things. So all you can do is keep going. But as for now, we are going to leave this section here, but we will be coming back to this section, not for tomorrow's blog, because tomorrow's blog will be our 14th day, and every end of the week going into the new week, I'm going to do the free journal where I just discuss freely how I'm feeling and all the things of that nature. So when we come back to our regular scheduled program of our journal prompts, we will pick this back up and see what she has in store for us. Let me know what you were known for. What did you stand out for? Did you like it? Did you not like it? If you want, feel free to comment and let me know. But I appreciate you for stopping by. As always, thank you for the support, and I can't wait to talk to you all later. Have a wonderful rest of your day.